So, hello everybody. We're happy to have you all here to the fourth training session in the JCI Europe Mentoring Program. Today we're talking about marketing in my local organization, and we have the fantastic Gabriela Mihoci from JCI Romania here, routined and very experienced trainer, JCI trainer, and long-time active member of JCI, who will tell us some interesting things about member acquisition. And yeah, I'm really forward to seeing what we will learn, and we are happy to have you here. Thank you very much for doing this training session, and here you go. It's your session.
Thank you, dear Sandra. Thank you for having me here and for inviting me here. It's quite a real pleasure for me to be part of this mentoring program, development plan also, and to be here with you in this formula. I am, for the time being, I am in JCI for quite some time, and I'm happy to be here. There are quite great initiatives and projects. For the time being, I'm the Secretary General of the local chapter in JCI Bucharest, and also the Deputy Chairman of the JCI Mongolia Academy in Romania. And here also I'm representing the academy in this course. So let's start. And considering that we have this quite hot topic, I would say, the marketing in my local JCI organization, we are going to have an overview, and then we will end with an action plan from your part, of course, because these action plans are the ones that you are going to write and implement within your local chapter or national chapter, of course, in the same time. So considering that we are in online, there's a few things that I would like to highlight. The camera on if possible, and thank you for the ones who have already opened their camera. Of course, be curious, because training is about learning, and the best thing and the best way to learn is to ask questions. So there are no stupid questions or wrong questions, and also they are not wrong answers. We are here to learn, therefore please ask us many questions as you think during the session. So as mentioned today, we are talking about the organization branding, because we can attract new members only if the members know about us. So who is JCI, or what is JCI? And how can I reach that part? So organization branding, and how can I increase awareness of JCI within my local chapter or my local community or national community? How can I do it? Then I will present you the site methodology and what you can look at, considering the branding part and the marketing. And then we'll have a practical part, considering that I'm not just going to give you the theory, but also I would kindly ask you to implement it and to start working on it. Considering that now we are in a training session, even though it's online, usually I would like to learn from you what are your expectations considering this session. So what is your intention, and or was your intention when you joined this session? If you want, you can write on chat or just unmute yourself and let us know. What was your intention when you logged into the session?
When I may, I would start. I'm in my chapter responsible for membership, so for the existing members, but also for acquisition of members, but not actually acquisition, but welcoming and onboarding potential new members. We don't have a real acquisition plan or activities, but any member is asked to bring potential new members. And I help the members to ask other potential candidates for membership. And if people are interested in our chapter without a connection, then I'm the first point of contact for them to welcome them and give them information about who we are and what we do. That's my position in my chapter, and therefore, of course, I'm interested and curious. Was just wanted to sneak in what what ideas you might have about how you can improve this or what you can do this there. That's my motivation here.
Great, thank you for sharing. So we have Paulina, who is the deputy president, and hoping definitely you'll be elected because you're here also, so you're gaining some knowledge. And one of the responsibilities to take care of trial members and also having and gaining new members here. Thank you for sharing this. I would say that by the end of the workshop, you will let me know if your expectations were filled in and if you have gained new knowledge from this perspective. Now, going into the theoretical part, so organizational branding. What is organizational branding and why should we have it? Why do you think we should have organizational branding?
And of course, to be visible, like to be seen out there and have I would say, a recurring brand on image on what we are or who we are.
A recurring brand, meaning to have recurrent.
Yeah, that you have always the same logo, of course. I guess it would be confusing to
Okay.
have lots of different logos or products, or whatever.
So
that
consistency.
you remember. What? Sorry?
So consistency in
Yeah,
image.
consistency. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. So indeed, consistency is part of the branding. And usually in big companies, we have the corporate brand book. Within JCI, we also have the community brand book that it is recommended to be used by the national chapters and also local chapters. And why is this? Because we can gain some experience and we can gain many benefits from using a similar logo and of course the name that is used, the values, the vision, the mission from a global perspective. This gives us, I would not say standardize, but this gives us this linear or alignment on this image that we can have on the network. So therefore, because I'm from Romania, and when I'm going to Switzerland actually, and I'm saying, oh, I am a JCI member, some of my colleagues will say, oh, you're a JCI member, so nice, I didn't know that. Therefore, just mentioning the name is much more easier to remember, or just seeing the logo, using the same logo. Of course, having the values, the mission, the colors also, they are part of the branding. And why? As you mentioned, increasing the visibility, increasing the awareness of the community, and also having this consistency. And when someone will see the logo, will say, oh, I know that logo. I know that something happening with that part. Therefore, the scope of having this organizational branding, actually, it helps in attracting new members and also the retaining new members, because you're part of something. You're part of JCI. You're a JCI member, actually, from this perspective. So the definition according to the chairperson of the partnership committee, it's mentioning that, and some of the definitions, essentially it's about shaping, cultivating, and involving the brand to create a distinct identity and attract members and stakeholders and sponsors from this perspective. And doing this parts organization and branding means that you communicate your mission, your vision, your values, also through your activities and projects, helps the community to know about you and being active in the community and taking part of that and bringing all the results and impacting, having an impact in the local communities and national communities.
When I may interrupt, I have a question there.
Please.
Like in the past, like last year or a year before, I saw that there was somewhere some kind of CI and guideline, as well as, how may I say, a mission statement from the board at that time. And I think that this is something which changes regularly according to the new board members. They define new missions and goals for the year. And do you know some places where we can find this?
So what you're talking here, it's about, I would say, the current board also word. So it's the keyword for that year and also the slogan. And it's already branded by the world president of the JCI. And indeed it's changing, but actually the mission and the vision is not changing for at least 3 to 5 years. So it's about the
Yeah,
strategic plan.
that's true. But I'm talking more about a slogan for the year. Or normally the board defines annual goals or annual claims, maybe topics they want to focus on within that year. And yeah, and I saw, like I said 2 years ago, that there was really a lot of marketing material created for those annual missions, and I just wonder whether there's a specific place where you can find this regularly every year.
So if you access the website of JCI, you will be able to access there all the materials, also from a branding perspective, the templates, the logo, the word of the year. It's the best resource that you can use in order also to find out all the global projects that are also implemented and can be implemented also within the national organization. I will share it with you when I'm sharing the slides of today's workshop. I will also share it with you so you can have it there at your reach.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions, maybe? No? Okay, let's go further. So when we're talking about branding, because branding is a very comprehensive and complex project, considering this part, we have some core elements that are very important to be in our in branding strategy for the local organizations, because we are talking about the local organizations. So the name, it is important to be visible and to be present on each visual, each material that we are uploading on social media, that we want to announce. The logo, of course, if we do not have the name, at least we can have the logo, because there are some visuals in which we can use only the logo without the name. The tagline is, you can say, is the word of the year, or what's the main message that the local organization wants to give it further. The website also has to be aligned from the visual perspective with the colors, and the messages needs to be aligned with the global mission and vision. Of course, there will be specifics, so specific words, specific messages, depending also on the local board's vision and mission and their desire for that year. But usually the main message is the same. And of course, there is the social media presence. What are the channels that we are using in order for us to be present and to be out there in the world? So now it's time for the practice part. Please, if you have a pen near to you or a paper, just answer to all of this, to all the core elements. What is the name of your local organization? What is the logo? Here you can write where you can find it, because it's also important to have it from where you can download it and add it to the visuals. What is the tagline for this year? The website, if you have a specific local organization website, what are the colors that you're using? Because there is also possible that you can use a slightly different colors, but in the same color gamma. And what are the messages that you want to transmit on the market? What is the tone of the message? Is it friendly? Is it more professional? Is it more humoristic? What are the key messages that you usually want to transmit? And what are the keywords? Usually the keywords are the ones that you also use while using hashtags on social media. And of course, what are the channels that you use? In general, what channels do you use in your local organization? It can be different channels. It can also be TikTok. To be honest, this year in JCI Bucharest, the marketing team actually launched our TikTok page, and it has gained more and more followers because TikTok is now the preferred social media channel for the youngsters that are, of course, in our target group. Do you use LinkedIn?
Do we write it down for everyone or just for ourselves?
For yourselves,
Okay,
so for your
fine.
local organization, for your
Okay.
local organization.
Is there?
Maybe you use Instagram or Facebook. I would be honest, I think Facebook is for more up to 40 years young JCI members. Now TikTok has the power with Instagram. Oh, for dinosaurs, yes, but young dinosaurs, Paulina, please. We are young dinosaurs.
That hurts. Like, be honest. Every one of you is still using Facebook, isn't?
I am using Facebook. I am a fan of Facebook. I'm a fan of LinkedIn
It's
also.
not about being a fan. It's just you started with Facebook, and there are all your connections and friends from the past. And of course, nowadays you use Instagram maybe more, or TikTok, or LinkedIn, or whatsoever. But still, Facebook exists, and it's not gone yet.
Yes, it still exists. And actually in JCI Bucharest, it's the best, actually the best social media because it attracts the more followers from this perspective. Because you also, it depends on the connections that you are having, actually. Oh, there's nice. I would like to have a TikTok for our chapter, but we are missing the young members to do it. You're also young, don't worry. You're also young, and I can assure you that this can be done. And we can have a sharing knowledge on TikTok with the marketing team from my local chapter, how they do it. Considering the social media channel that you're using, depending on this part, you also need to consider the content that you're uploading. Because on TikTok, there are studies actually. If you have new members, yes, great, Paulina. So you can attract them. Do you want to start the TikTok page for the local JCI chapter? Come and let's learn together how you can start a TikTok page. Coming back to the social media channels. So depending on the social media channel, then you also need to think about the content. TikTok actually, for TikTok, actually, it's necessary to upload at least 2 times a day. And for TikTok, it is necessary to do short videos, kind of like Reels on Instagram or Facebook. For Instagram, you can also have posts or you can also have Reels, but you still need content. For Facebook and LinkedIn, I would say it's a little bit easier because on Facebook, you can create events to which people can hit interested or going to. And you can also have different posts and reels. And on LinkedIn, considering that LinkedIn is a much more professional social media platform, then you can upload more business-related topics or topics that are connected with the environment, with the sustainability that is still a hot topic for today. And depending on the social media channel that you are most using, then you can think of the content and you can make a plan for the content from this perspective. Great. So let's look forward at some characteristics when you are preparing for the content, because now we are going a little bit into more details. When you are preparing the content, you need to have in mind, and of course, marketing team or the board, the local board, can start defining the target group. Actually, when I want to post on LinkedIn, what's my target group, what I'm aiming for, because the youngsters, to be honest, they are not so much present on LinkedIn. You can look at the age from this perspective and then start searching what kind of activities and projects and keywords you can use in order to attract them and to appear actually in their feeds. Then defining the social media channels, you can have this content because you have already the target group. If you're going on Instagram, then you can post something humorous, something nice, kind of like making of, I don't know, the national convention, making up for behind the scenes for a different project, and you can share some nice experience and funny experience with the market. having the key messages that we already talked about and the keywords. So those hashtags that you can use. So if you're having a project, let's say on sustainability, what keywords can you use? If you're thinking of sustainability, worldwide impact, what keywords do you think you can use that helps you gain visibility in the feeds? It can be exactly the word sustainability or making an impact, because impact is also a keyword for this topic. Or what else can we have? World's best hobby, nice. But in Finnish, nice. Thank you. This is a very good keyword, a very good hashtag. World's best hobby. Because we are living on this planet and we still want to live on it, or at least to have what to live on it from this perspective. So you can have this kind of keywords already defined, and then when you are posting, when you are having a post on this topic, you can use these keywords for the entire year. Therefore, you have the consistency that we are talking about when we were considering the branding of the community. Furthermore, again, going into the practice part. So, considering what you have written for yourself on paper or in your mind or notepad, do you know for the time being what is your target group for your different social media channels? So now I'm not considering the general target group of JCI, 18 to 14 years worldwide. Youngsters, entrepreneurs, people who want to develop their leadership skills. But do you have a very specific target group for the social media channels that you are using? For instance, do you have Instagram? Yes, I can see a yes. Great. What is, thank you, Brit, for being here with us. So you have Instagram. Considering Instagram, what's the target group that you are aiming actually? Do you have it defined? First, the first question, do you have it defined?
For myself, I can say that we haven't really defined different target groups for our social media channels, but that's because we are actually not looking for new members via those channels. We just provide information about our network there. So the content we create there is not really to attract new members, more to tell about our activities.
Okay, so it's about sharing what you're doing. And if you change your perspective and your approach, and your target is also bringing and attracting new members, how it would look like?
There, it's interesting because I would say that it definitely depends on the chapter we're talking about, because I also figured out that some chapters do have slightly different targets than we do, maybe. Yeah, and it also depends on the region where you are. Like we do have actually a lot of members from tourism sector and from agriculture, because we are a very rural region, so we have a lot of space here and not that much industry. So that's most of our members are somehow in service or in hotel business or something like that. And that of course looks different with other chapters. Yeah. And even though you have, like, I would say, more members or more entrepreneurs from a specific industry in the region here, you can still say, okay, I would like to focus more on those from industry, because we still lack of those members in our chapter, if you want to have them more in your chapter, for example.
Okay, great perspective. And considering that you are already posting something and you just want to share your activities and projects or what you are doing, can you also add a sentence or a phrase that can also attract new members?
Definitely, like you can. I guess there it would be more interesting to make offers on and activities attracting new members and talk about those, like having an interest dinner or having a meet the board event or something like this. And this is something you can then, of course, promote on the social media channels.
Mm-hmm.
And to
Great.
reach the targets we want to have better, you could say, you are entrepreneur from, let's say, food industry, then next weekend, this is the place for you to meet our board or something like this.
Great, nice. So adding a call to action to each post that you are having, this also helps to attract new member, because just posting, oh, this is what we're doing, we're great, we're amazing, but not letting them know you can join us, you can come and meet us. Actually, the audience would not know that they have this opportunity and this possibility to join you, just to get to know you. Therefore, adding a call to action sentence, what you just mentioned as an example, which is a very good example, can help you. And this is nice. Do you think you can do this on a regular basis with all your posting?
Was this a question?
Yes, if you can do this, so adding a call to action sentence to each post that you are having on social media.
Depends on the purpose, but actually, yes, I think so.
Oh, great, nice. So this sounds like an action that you can already do. So Paulina, thank you. She already did the internet research, and she tells us that Instagram mentions that the highest usage is among the people between 18 and 34. Therefore, the target group is between 18 and 34. So just a simple internet search can bring you some datas and some numbers and some figures that can help you then personalize your content and your posting on this part.
True.
What Paulina also shares with us is that they also market the events and the trainings, nice, and share stories what we have done. You're not too old. You're not only a dinosaur, you're a very young dinosaur that is also using Instagram and already knows how to use Instagram. So sharing stories also helps increasing the visibility, and also sharing stories on what you can do, what you're doing, also sharing stories about the challenges that you are facing during a project, during an activity. This also helps members to get to know you better, because to be honest, we are already used to having only successful stories, happy stories, but it's not so common actually to talk about the challenges that we are facing during a project or implementing a project. And sometimes this also helps us in sharing this kind of tips and tricks or lessons learned from this experience, because it attracts the members or potentially new members, because you're vulnerable. So you're not just a shining diamond, but you're also a shining diamond that is still trying to shine even more. So it's still a work in progress, and therefore you can also attract them to you. And adding this call to action is always helpful from this perspective, and I usually recommend to have it. Of course, considering also on the purpose, but from my own experience as an employer branding specialist, I would recommend to add it as much as possible. Of course, in a nice flow, not something just put it there. Gabriela told me to put it there. I will just put it there and that's it. Any questions so far? No. So, looking forward, Lao Tzu said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So, thank you for being able and being available to do the first step towards increasing the marketing of your local organization and to start doing more actions and more activities in order to increase the visibility of the local chapter and the JCI to attract new members. So having this in mind, I am proposing to you how to start this step with the SIDE methodology. And the SIDE methodology says like this: set, investigate, diagnose, and empower. Set. Set means to define where you want to go, which means the target group, the key messages, the keywords, what is your aim and your purpose with all what you want to do with activities and projects. What do you want to achieve? And what is the most optimistic future? So what is the best result that you can get, but a realistic result? So not something out of this world, something very realistic, because this will also help you to balance your efforts and your resources in order to reach that goal. Investigate means to analyze the current situation, the current market. This is something that we already did when I asked you to fill in or to write on paper or in your mind or notebook the answers to the core elements, actually. Look at the past actions and the results. What have we done in the past and actually had a good result? Because we don't need to reinvent, I don't know, hot water or the wheel. There are also good things that we have done in the past that can be repeated now. Of course, tailoring the experience for the current situation, but we can have some valuable lessons learned from the past. And what have you learned so far? And this means that we can always go back to our most experienced members, to our former board members or project managers that actually had a success from this perspective, and just ask them, hey, what did you do in order for you to gain so many new members, or in order to gain so many sponsors from this perspective? There are some very valuable lessons there. Also, the senators are a very good resource that we can use on a constant basis. D comes from diagnose. What is the change you need for your local organization? Name it, write it down, put it on a paper, and have it over there. Is it doable or is it just daydreaming? Considering, I don't know, I want to increase the new members number by 500%. Is it doable or is it daydreaming? Considering this, thank you, Paulina. Once I get elected, I will call first the deputy president from the year that I joined. Nice. She managed to get 42 new members during her year. Great result. If you want, you can also share it afterwards with us. What was her secret? What was her power? Or his power from that perspective? And what was the winning action or activity? So for Paulina, for Finland, if there's a goal set for 50 new members, it can be doable and not daydreaming, because the past tells us that this is something that can be achieved. And of course, when can you implement it? So this is the action part. When can you implement these actions? You can start with the smallest step, as we saw it. The change starts with the first step. What is the smallest step, the easiest step that I can do in order to implement all of this? Because accountability is the glue that ties commitment to the result. Am I committed to obtain this result? Let's say 50 new members, or am I not? Am I accountable for this, or am I not? Am I saying it's not my responsibility, it's other responsibility? Or I am there in that team, and because I'm in JCI team, local community, local chapter, then I'm also responsible, even though I do not have a board member role or position, but I'm still responsible because I am an ambassador of my local chapter. And the last letter, E, comes from empower. So decide on the goals you want to achieve, to be smart. Do we know SMART methodology? To be specific, to be measurable, to be achievable, to be realistic, and in a specific time frame. Decide on the action plan for the next 6 months. This is my recommendation towards you. After you decide and you set your goals, after you have all this information, start designing the action plan for the next 6 months. Because this will also help you to gain perspective if it's doable or not. This will give you an input after the first 3 months, if it's a good path, if it's a good direction that you're going to, or do you need to change it? Because you can decide on an action plan, but keep it flexible, keep it adaptable in order for you to easy change it according to the findings in the market. And then again, yes, and I'm emphasizing this idea, start with the smallest and fastest step in order to implement it. Because you will also gain a sense of achievement, a sense of accomplishment, and this will help you so much and it will give you so much energy to do the next step and the next step and the next step until you reach your goal. So the smallest and the fastest one.
Gabriela, sorry that I interrupt you, but do you want to share some slides? Because you do not.
Oh, sorry, it's not working. Let
Oh,
me.
or I
She
do not.
does. She does. She's at Empower right now. That's the right slide, or? Is it?
Yes.
No, so
Maybe your screen is stuck.
okay, because I do not see any slides.
Oh, then maybe stop sharing and restart.
I will stop sharing and restart. Just
Might solve the problem.
yes, a quick technical part, as in each training usually.
But on my side, the screen wasn't frozen. Or
Okay.
dark.
Okay, now it's okay. No,
No.
not yet. Let me do one more thing.
Yeah,
Now.
now I see them. Perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
yay,
Thanks.
perfect. Let me also just open my chat box so I can see. So thank you also for mentioning, and thank you for Paulina for summing up what I have said so far. So quick wins, yes. Smallest and fastest steps are quick wins that also empower you and energize you to do the rest of the steps in order to achieve your goals. So now we are at the practice part again, and I would recommend you to take the time after we close and end this webinar to think about this side methodology and think about what you can write for the set, investigate, diagnose, and empower stage. For each part, what you can do, so you can end up having the action plan for the next 6 months, considering your local organization resources also and future objectives that you want to achieve from this perspective. Therefore, you will have the 2024 action plan, and of course, it can be continued to 2025. Now, depending on each local organization, you can take the action plan that was started in 2024 and have an activity that can connect so well the current year with the next year or the previous year with the current year. So you can have this consistency of the branding and also the actions. So they won't be so different and it can be confusing to the members or to the new members or potentially new members that actually are following your social media channels and they are following the local community activities. And please remember that words may inspire, but only action creates change. This is said by Simon Sinek, a world-renowned author and speaker, a motivational speaker that has multiple books already on the market and can be acquired. And I think this message is quite empowering and powerful in the same time, because we are very good in words and with words, because we are people and we are humans. But the change can be done only when we take the action and when we start the smallest and the fastest step towards our goal in order to do and to create a change and an impact on our local organization and national organization at the same time. So this is in a nutshell today's webinar and today's theory and also practice. Please let me know if you have any questions.
No, I'm fine so far.
No? No, thank you. And then if you want to say at least one word that at the end of this session, something that
It's the red
remains.
end already, sorry. Okay. Sorry for that.
Can you please repeat?
No, I was just surprised it's already the end of the session. It was very short time.
Yes, it is short because
No, it's
we
totally fine. I was just surprised. Great.
okay. Because it's important for the methodology for you to practice and to implement the methodology, and therefore the practice part was actually planned for longer, considering that we would have more participants from this perspective, and there would be also some sharing for each participant, and this could have been also knowledge sharing as a session, but considering that we are fewer, therefore the session itself it's shorter.
No, it's totally fine. It was very good so far.
Okay.
Sorry for the background noises here.
No worries, no worries. It's okay. It's okay. Then thank you so much for being part of this and for taking your time this late in the day actually, and after a working day. Please let me know if you have any questions, if you need my support in defining the action plan for the next month or next year. Please ask me, get in contact with me, send me a message, and I will be happy to offer you my support and also from my expertise to help you define your action plan for the next period.
May I ask a question?
Please.
Do you know if many local chapters use TikTok? Because this is a hot potato in our chapter. I know JCI Finland has tried it, but there hasn't been new content for many times, and I'm trying to push it forward because I could see that we would be kind of the first ones in Finland in TikTok. But I think to convince the others, it would be nice to have some success stories or good accounts to follow, or something that I could share, like, hey, look, these guys are doing it and it's kicking ass. So is there any of this available, or could we collect it somehow to boost up our presence? Because I think we're missing the generation in our chapter that we could get from TikTok. I think we're doing
we definitely do, but TikTok is quite a challenging channel for us, because it's a lot of work to create those reels, those video snippets. You need to have the skills and the time for that. I guess I would say it's more time consuming than just pushing a post, for example, just writing some text and putting an image there. So for our chapter, it's definitely not possible, I think, with our volunteering work to also use this channel as well.
Yeah, that's why I think we would need to have someone from the TikTok generation who would be excited to do the videos, because I don't think I would be myself the correct person to do those. But how to, if there's anything available, or Gabriela or Sandra, if you know, it would be super excited to hear.
Yes, the same goes for me. I would be very happy to have some of those channels.
So I can say that in Romania, we have this channel. So JCI Bucharest, you can enter TikTok and just search JCI Bucharest, which is actually JCI Bucharest, meaning is the name,
in Romanian.
Yes, the native name of the local chapter. And we also have JCI Constanța, is also in Romania.
Has also. Oh.
And to be honest, for the other JCI chapters, I don't have information from this perspective, but you can definitely search JCI, also JCI Mongolia Academy from Mongolia, also have a TikTok account. And they are having some posts over there. Considering the content part and actually the timing, as you mentioned, for the TikTok generation, I would say it's easier and fast because I had I had the opportunity to have a discussion So it's just making a short 5 or 10 seconds movie, then uploading it as a reel, writing something down there and just posting it. But this depends on the target group that you're having, on the social media channels that you are planning to use in order to increase the awareness on that social media channel, actually. Therefore, you can increase, if you want, you can reskill and increase your TikTok skills for the beginning. So you can attract the TikTok generation members. And you can also post on TikTok, hey, we are looking for a TikTok specialist new member. And this can also be marketed.
That's quite a good idea, actually.
A good idea.
Thank you. You know, there's some nice also on Facebook. I saw it. There are some nice examples from corporations actually. There's a big screen outside and says, "Oh, do you think this commercial is not working?" or something like this. Yes, you're right. We need a creative colleague that will help us to have a nice visual, a nice poster or something like this. So you can also try this part.
Super good idea.
Happy to hear that. So I'm looking forward for JCI Finland TikTok channel.
It will be JCI Central Park Helsinki because I'm going to do it for my chapter.
Okay, Helsinki then. Okay, great. Then I will have my eye on the TikTok.
I think there's a JCI Germany TikTok channel, but there are just about 140 followers, so it seems not to be very.
I guess this is also a question whether the people know about the channel, because I didn't know it yet. And yeah,
Me too.
of course, if you hear of this, then of course you can search and find the channel.
I
And
googled
I would say
it.
also promoting the channel on your website, on your other channels, definitely makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is also a good idea. So you can promote it on LinkedIn because hey, we're a great, amazing team. You can also find us, or you can also watch what we are doing via these social media channels because there is no restriction from this perspective. So you can also market it like this on LinkedIn, on Instagram, also Facebook, also. You can have it in the bio description. And you can, so what please, Paulina.
I just created myself a TikTok.
Nice, nice. So see, the smallest and the fastest step you are already implementing.
Yeah.
Congrats. So what we are also using in JCI Romania and also in the local chapter JCI Bucharest, maybe this you already have it also. We have a group, a WhatsApp group where we have all the members, and then when there is something important or an event or a project, actually we are sending a message on that WhatsApp group. And this can also help increasing the awareness of different social media channels that you are using, and also increasing the number of followers, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Because as you mentioned, we don't know about all of these resources and about all of these opportunities. So this is a way to market yourself and your local organization, of course.
Unfortunately, I need to leave. So thank you very, very much. It was interesting to hear that. And I was glad I could make the whole time. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you for being present.
It was nice meeting you.
Thank you also.
Pleasure. Yeah, bye.
Have a great night. Bye.
Thank you. Same to you.
Paulina, do you have any other questions or curiosities?
No, I'm super excited now about this TikTok thing.
Great.
I just
Happy
need
to hear this.
Yeah, I just need to get elected so that I can try to start.
We are rooting for you. Just let us know what we can do to make sure that you are elected.
You can follow me on Instagram, JCI Paulina, and like my posts for 1 week. Next Thursday we have election. And I added you both on LinkedIn already, so.
Nice, nice. So I'm looking for you on Instagram.
JCI Paulina. And I'm also that name on TikTok, so if you're there.
Nice.
No. Because I think this is what we need. Because generally, if we have a new member, they are like 35, 36. And we're missing to 20 something, early 30s. And I think it's just for the fact that we are not in TikTok.
So see, you already found out the gap that you want to fill in, and you want to do something on this part. And you already did the first step. So the
thank you
practice
so
part
much.
worked.
It was super exciting. And yeah, I will let you know how it goes.
Great, thank you. So thank you also for joining and for taking your time for today to be here with us. And I just recommend you to also have the side methodology in your mind and just to put it on paper, also with your board members or your colleagues right there. And who knows what else you can find.
Yeah, I need to. I'm just, 1 week for the election, and then I can start actually do things for next year.
Great. So we are rooting for you, just for you to know. We are here supporting you.
So thank you so much and have a nice evening.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you also. Have a nice evening.
Training. It was
Thanks.
really cool.
Bye.
Bye bye.